Hello, Motive Companies. This is Jeremiah with the Motive Safety Team. We're going to start going over lightning safety awareness. This is going to be a part of our safety observant calendar. So at the bottom here, please note that all Zoom safety trainings can be accessed via the internet. Click the safety tab and scroll down to the safety observant calendar. Choose a training you'd like to attend. Now, there are going to be some dates that will show you that there'll be a Zoom meeting, but other dates that'll be highlighted that you can click on and just get information on that actual safety training. So it may not be a Zoom meeting, but like in July 1st, starting in June was our heart health awareness. So if you click the heart health awareness tab, while it won't take you to a Zoom meeting, it will give you information and some health tips for your heart. And so we want to keep these safety observant calendars going for every month. You can check in. I update them right before the beginning of the next month. So when you go in, you can check to see if you would like to attend those. Again, this is just a resource for safety. We want more visibility for you, the employee, as a part of this company, to know that we have things out here for you guys, just for awareness purposes, also for on the job training and things that you could take home and teach it to your families and your community. So this is a big deal for us. So we'll get started. This won't be a long video, about 10 minutes, maybe, if that. We'll go through lightning safety. So just to start off, electricity is essential to modern life, both at home and on the job. Some employees, engineers, electricians, electronic technicians, and power line workers among them work with electricity directly. Others, such as office workers and sales people, work with it indirectly, perhaps because it has become such a familiar part of our daily life. Many of us don't give much thought to how much our work depends on a reliable source of electricity. More importantly, we tend to overlook the hazards electricity poses and fail to treat it with the respect it deserves. So our objectives, participants today, those who are listening and those who will, this is being recorded as well, those who will listen later, these are our objectives for the day. We want to define facts associated with lightning. We want to describe ways lightning can kill. Lightning can be beautiful when photographed. We want to tell you guys and all know the serious nature of lightning and how to protect ourselves. We want to illustrate how to protect yourself and coworkers against lightning hazards, analyze and discuss case studies. So we want to see some evidence of what has happened in the past. Not everyone passes away when they are struck by lightning, but it is very important that we don't take any chances. We're going to give you some facts. A couple of next slides are going to be just facts on lightning and how it is a real risk. Lightning is a real risk. An average of 10 deaths and 40 injuries from lightning occur in Florida each year. 9 out of 10 people struck do survive the event. 100 people are killed in the US per year. 25% of the survivors have long-term psychological or physiological trauma. 25% of the survivors have a long-term, okay, we got that. The underrated killer, okay? Lightning strikes Earth 100 times each second. Average flash will light a 100-watt bulb for 3 months. That's a lot of power if you think about that. That one average lightning flash will light a bulb, a 100-watt bulb for 3 months straight. That's powerful. Lightning is the second largest killer due to storms, exceeded only by floods. Some areas are struck by lightning more often than others. Florida Lightning Alley is a prime example. Okay, lightning is the #2 storm killer in the US, killing more than hurricanes or tornadoes on average. Only floods kill more. In the United States, hundreds of people are killed or injured each year in lightning mishaps. But the real story of lightning isn't the deaths, it's the injuries. Only about 10% of those struck and killed, 90% will survive. But of the survivors, many suffer lifelong severe injuries and disabilities. These injuries are primarily neurological, with a wide range of symptoms, and are sometimes difficult to diagnose. Lightning also causes about $5 billion of economic loss each year in the US. Today, most tall buildings are protected by lightning rods. Aerials and power lines are protected by using lightning arresters. Okay, more lightning facts for you. Heat exceeds 50,000 degrees, 3 times hotter than the surface of the sun. Think about that for a second. This is 50,000 degrees, 3 times hotter than the surface of the sun. 90,000 miles a second. That's how fast it is. These bolts are fast and they're wide. Okay, thunder shock wave created by superheated air in the lightning channel is always associated with lightning. Okay, let's get some more statistics for you. Second most frequent cause of weather-related deaths. 40% in open fields, 23% under trees, 14% boating and swimming, 5% playing golf, 5% heavy machinery, and 4% on a telephone. So these are just the percentages for the second most frequent cause of weather-related deaths. And you can see here that in the open field, if you're standing in an open field, you are at a greater chance because you become the tallest thing in that open field, and lightning is always looking for the tallest conductor. So by gender, we have 84% are men and 16% are female. I'm going to guess that that's because that men are normally taller than females, but that's a huge number there for men. They're the majority who get struck by lightning. Months, June, there is 21%, July 30%, and August 22%. So between these 2 months that we're doing lightning safety, June 21st June 20 is 21%. So we're in June, and then moving into July, we're at 30%, and in August as well. So we're in that realm of where the storms are moving in and lightning is striking. We need to be aware of it. Now, along with that, we want to dispel any common myths that might go along with lightning. See, while we want to be safe with lightning, we also don't want to create these myths or the myths that we hear and then live in fear because, we think that anything can create lightning. So here's some common lightning myths. So lightning never strikes twice in the same place. That's a myth. Okay, well, that's a fact, Very tall buildings have been struck several times in the same storm by lightning. Okay, so they say it's a myth that lightning never strikes twice in the same place, but it is actually a fact because very tall buildings have been struck several times. Myth. This is a myth that they say. Many people think that during a thunderstorm, it is better to seek shelter under tall trees. So when you do that, I've heard that you should go to a field of many trees where there is some tall trees, but also a group of smaller trees that you can hide under. But if you're just hiding in under a tree that is the only tree, or maybe there's only like 3 trees in an open field, it's probably not the best place for you to be. I'm going to tell you it's not the best place. You need to find another form of shelter. Okay, 5 ways lightning can kill. 1, a direct strike. A side flash, and we'll go over these. Conducted current. Step voltage. And then secondary effects. So a direct strike usually results in cardiac arrest and or stoppage of the breathing. A side flash may occur when the body of the person provides an alternate or parallel path for the current. This means the person may be another way for the current to reach the ground. If the current passes through the head or heart, death may result. Conducted current from a lightning flash may range from tingling shock to a massive current diverted from a poorly grounded electric power pole through the wiring system. Step voltage radiates out through the ground from a struck tree or pole. This results in many livestock deaths every year. Fires, fallen trees, crushed cars. These are secondary effects. Injuries that occur from these are an indirect result of lightning. Okay, lightning caused hazards, fallen wires. So we're going to go into this real quick. Electrical fires, forest fires. Let's go back to that slide really quick. So we have fallen wires, electrical fires, and forest fires. Okay, fallen wires, do not touch fallen wires. Report them to the police or local utility immediately. If the wire should fall on an occupied vehicle, tell the driver to stay in and drive away if possible. If they are unable to drive away, tell them to wait for help and do not get out. They are safe inside of the car, but should avoid touching the metal parts of the car. For electrical fires, if an appliance or tool catches fire, try to unplug it or turn it off. Turn off the current at the fuse box. Do not pour water on the fire. Use a Class C fire extinguisher or throw baking soda on the fire. If it gets out of control, call the local fire department and get out. Forest fires. Pine trees become explosive when struck by lightning. Lightning causes forest fires. Can forest fires cause lightning? Yes. Smoke and carbon microparticles, when introduced into the upper atmosphere, can become the initiator of static. Sufficient atmospheric static can spark discharge as lightning. Reports of massive lightning storms in coastal Brazil, Peru, and Hawaii have been linked to the burning of sugarcane fields. The late 90s Mexican forest fires resulted in unusual lightning activity in the U.S. High Plains area. So too can dust in the enclosed grain elevator create a static discharge. Recent reports show that Houston, Texas, discharging copious amounts of hydrocarbons into the upper atmosphere may be responsible for higher than normal lightning activity in the area. And this is from the National Lightning Safety Institute. Let's talk about some safety measures that we all can take in order to prevent and keep ourselves safe. So we want one, to have a plan. Having a lightning plan, know where you'll go for safety and how much time it'll take to get there. Make sure you plan. Okay, postpone activities. Okay, postpone activities before going outdoors. Check the forecast for thunderstorms. Consider postponing activities to avoid being caught in a dangerous situation. Okay, these sensitive electronics should be unplugged. We want to monitor the weather, look for signs of developing thunderstorms, such as darkening skies, flash of lightning, or increasing winds. We want to get to a safe place. Keep away from electrical equipment, wiring, and water pipes. With wiring and plumbing, provide the best protection. Sheds, picnics, shelters, tents, or covered porches do not protect you from lightning. It is a sturdy building, is not nearby. Get into a hard-topped metal vehicle and close all windows and stay inside until 30 minutes after the last rumble of thunder. So if you get into your vehicle because you have nowhere else to go, then you hear a lightning strike, it needs to be 30 minutes that goes by before you get out of that vehicle. If you hear thunder, don't use a corded phone. Cordless phones, cell phones, and other wireless handheld devices are safe to use. Keep away from electrical equipment, wiring, and water pipes. Sensitive electronics should be unplugged well in advance of thunderstorms. Don't take a bath, shower, or use other plumbing during a thunderstorm. Some of this, you may think that it's just common sense, like who during a thunderstorm like that is going to be doing some of these things, but sometimes we get complacent if we're comfortable. We never dealt with lightning in the sense of being struck. We got struck by lightning, or there was somebody else who experienced being struck by lightning. So we don't take these measures seriously. Okay, outdoor worker safety measures. Plan in advance your evacuation safety measures. Look for dark clouds and increased wind or you hear thunder. So safety measures, suspension, resumption. So this is one of the kind of things we call this a administrative engineering tool or something that we can use in order to administratively say, hey, we're going to switch the shift up in order not to send out workers in a lightning storm. At motive companies, if there is a storm coming or there is lightning in the vicinity, we most definitely will postpone what's going on in that vicinity so that we are not in direct contact with any hazards such as lightning. We want to avoid water, high ground, open spaces, metal objects, field shelters in a substantial building, okay? Understanding a safe shelter is essential, okay? We want to make sure that we're not putting ourselves into the direct path of lightning by going to a high ground, an open space where the tallest object, any metal objects, these are conductors such as water and things of that nature. Primary source of shelter, facility with plumbing, okay? We're going to get into unsafe shelter areas include outdoor metal objects, power poles, fences and gates, high mast light poles, metal bleachers, electrical equipment, mowing, and road machinery. Okay, it says the vehicle is a secondary. We talked about that on a previous slide. Okay, this is as a last resort as we get into some of these outdoor worker safety measures. So we're going to avoid open areas such as fields, construction sites, recreation areas, water such as ocean, lakes, swimming pools, rivers, high places, trees, small open structures such as bus stops, rain shelters, picnic shelters, dugouts, gazebos, tall structures such as communication towers, flags, or light poles. We want to avoid all these things. This is a last resort. You should have had a plan, been aware of the weather, etc., prior to this, and move to more of a protected area. Okay, still preventive measures for outdoor workers. So you want to bleachers, no matter what. So we're avoiding these bleachers, metal fences or metal objects such as carts, agricultural or construction equipment, golf carts, telephone lines or power lines, pipelines or steel fabrications, leaning against cars or metal objects, get off of bicycles and motorcycles, holding metal objects such as fishing rods, golf clubs, ski poles, tennis rackets, tools. I know I love fishing. If you are caught and you hear thunder and you see clouds up ahead, be wise, put your fishing pole away. Hopefully the clouds will pass. I know some people believe that clouds overhead on like a muggy day is a great day to fish. Not saying that you can't fish or you shouldn't fish if there's clouds overhead, but if you do see signs of lightning, if you hear thunder, then most definitely I would strongly recommend that you pack your fishing pole up in your truck or your vehicle for maybe an hour or so, see if there's anything left or if the thunderstorm passes, and then you can go straight back to what you were doing before. Continued outdoor worker safety measures, check Weather Channel or the NOAA weather radio at the job site, especially in summer months. Safety shelters include fully enclosed metal vehicles with windows up, large permanent buildings, low ground. Unsafe areas include near flagpoles, fences, light poles, trees, open fields, golf carts, picnic pavilions, and bus stops. Okay, 30-30 rule. No place outside is safe near thunderstorms. Okay, so we're going to get into this right here. Lightning distance, count the time from the flash to the bang for each 5 seconds between. The lightning is 1 mile away. Activate lightning safety plan at count of 30 or 6 miles away, and don't resume activities for 30 minutes. It's called the 30-30 rule. Okay, lightning struck the fence and the electric current traveled along the fence line, killing the cows. It shows you a picture here. And the cows were electrified when the lightning struck the fence. So know the weather and have an escape plan. Know how long it will take you to reach safety and watch the sky. Use a 30 rule to estimate distance of the storm. Actually, don't even bother to count the first 30. When you see lightning or hear thunder, you should be making your way to the nearest shelter. Generally speaking, if you see lightning and or hear thunder, you are already at risk. Louder or more frequent thunder and lightning activities means the risk for lightning injury or death is increased. Lightning can strike within 10-mile radius, even in no rain, sun shining, and etc. So don't just look for clouds to give you a sign that there's going to be lightning. Listen and check the NOAA website, and we'll have that all featured at the end to see exactly if there is lightning in your area. High winds, rainfall, and cloud cover often act as precursors to actual cloud to ground strikes, but not necessarily. Very important right here. Many lightning casualties occur in the beginning as the storm approaches, or within 30 minutes after the storm has passed. Do not wait. Head for safety. Get inside a large enclosed structure, not a carport, open garage, or even a covered patio, which provide no protection, and not by an open window. If a large enclosed structure is not available, get inside a fully enclosed metal vehicle with metal top and with windows rolled up. Do not touch anything in contact with the outside shell of the vehicle or buildings such as metal doors or window frames or electrical wiring of the car or building like cable TV wiring, plumbing, household electric appliances, which include desktop computers, cord telephones, cell phones, pose no risk. So you may use your cell phone, they pose no risk. Do not use running water, such as showers, washing hands, or doing the dishes. Okay, warning signs. If you can see it, lightning, flee it. If you can hear it, thunder, clear it. If you feel your hair stand up on end, your skin tingle or hear crackling noises, sign of an imminent lightning strike. Assume a lightning-safe position. Hair standing on end and or hearing crackling noises means you're in a lightning electric field. Immediately remove all metal and get in the feet together crouch position. Duck your head and cover your ears with your hands. The catcher's position. In the contest between people and lightning wins, although lightning rarely strikes more than one person at a time. Over the course of the year, the damages, deaths, and injuries add up to make the lightning a serious threat. Okay, and that shows you the position that you should be in if you feel those signs. So your skin's tingling, your hair is standing. This is the position they want you to be in. So if outside, crouch on the ground. Okay, weight on the balls of your feet, heels together, head lowered, eyes closed, ears covered. If someone's struck by lightning, this is helping a lightning strike victim. If a person is struck by lightning, medical care is usually needed immediately to save the person's life. Cardiac arrest and irregularities, burns, and nerve damages are typical life-threatening injuries when a person is struck. Knowing first aid measures, which include cardiopulmonary resuscitation, that's CPR, can help lightning strike victims survive. The American Red Cross chapters and local fire department often offer first aid and CPR classes. And as you guys all know, because you should be trained, we do provide CPR training, not only with just the CPR that we're doing, but also practical applications for training with our mannequins. So first aid for lightning victims. Injured persons do not carry our electrical charge. Apply first aid if trained and call 911. Administer first aid as quickly as possible. If unconscious, check breathing and pulse. Person has a pulse but not breathing, begin CPR. So first aid for lightning victims, besides burned, lightning can also cause nervous system damage, broken bones, and loss of hearing or eyesight. Victim may experience confusion and memory loss. First aid for lightning victims needs to be carried out immediately. After the lightning strikes, get to the victim as quickly as possible. Check breathing and pulse if the victim is unconscious. If the victim has a pulse but is not breathing, begin mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. If there is no pulse, begin CPR. Check for other injuries such as possible fractures. Do not move a suspected spinal injury, injured victim. We learned this in first aid and CPR as well. Cover the electrical burn with a dry, sterile dressing, but do not cool the burn. There may be more than one burn area. One where the current entered the body and other where it left. Call the local emergency department for help. Keep the victim from getting chilled until help arrives. I'm guessing they're saying keep the victim from going into shock. So we want to make sure that we keep the victim in that where they are, keep them calm. And if we need to do CPR, if their heart is stopped, or mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, if they are breathing, if they aren't breathing, but they do have a pulse, we do want to give breaths for sure. And then want to check for other injuries, make sure everything's okay. So most die from heart attacks and they stop breathing. Okay, first aid for lightning victims. If not CPR qualified, call EMS immediately, keep them calm, stay with them until help arrives. Survivor story. Working on the dock, installing plumbing inside house. 911 dispatcher on duty in Southern Florida, inside his garage repairing the exhaust system of his car, hit while on cell phone attached by a cord to a charger. So these are some of the facts of it. We'll go through it. So I don't have the actual, let's see if they'll let me go. Let's skip this. So here's some resources from OSHA. OSHA has many helpful programs, including assistance about safety and health programs, state plans, workplace consultations, voluntary protection programs, strategic partnerships, training and education, and more. Here's a quick summary of what we went over, understanding the basics of lightning. So first we wanted to understand the way that lightning, the behavioral characteristics of lightning. You have to understand it is very unpredictable, but there are signs to tell us, when it's happening. Discuss lightning injuries, preventative measures. We're huge on that. How do we prevent this from happening in the first place? Are we having a stand down when we see clouds above and we know that there's adverse weather coming in? Excuse me, these are huge things that we want to make sure that we are getting through and that we're doing before we are, having someone climb a pole or having somebody out in the field. I'm going to discuss immediate actions to assist lightning strike victims. Do we know that if they are unconscious and they have a pulse, but they're not breathing, what do we do in that situation? Okay. Or let's say that their heart stops. What do we do in that situation? How do we check for injuries and things of that nature? Quick OSHA contact numbers to report unsafe working conditions, safety and health violation. Contact OSHA. And this is OSHA.gov that you're going to contact. And you have the number as well, 1-800-321-OSHA. To file a complaint form, give you all this information here. You can go to OSHA.gov in order to file a complaint. For more information regarding your rights, you can see workers' rights, okay? And they give us some lightning safety retrieved from some of the sources that we see some of these things from. So it's very important that we remember exactly when we're in a situation of a storm, especially for those in telecom who climb and you can become the highest point or you are on the highest point in a given area. And if lightning is there, I believe Motive does a great job of stopping and standing down and postponing. But if it's just, even if this is you at home and you're with your family and you're doing something like the fishing story, you're fishing and you hear lightning and it's getting louder and closer, you should pack your fishing equipment up, put it in the back of your truck, put it away, give it 30 minutes. If you don't hear another lightning strike, then you can go and continue fishing. But just be wise, because these are things that it's always the things that have never happened that usually happen when we least expect it. So make sure that you keep that and keep those things in mind. All right, so remember, all of our safety trainings are located on our intranet, and every computer associated with Motive, that's your home screen. So immediately you'll be taken to the intranet. You'll be able to go into the safety section of the intranet. You're just going to scroll all the way down until you see safety observant calendars. Click on that. It'll be that current month. So right now it's June. Then a calendar is going to pop up. You're going to be able to go to, it'll have a list up top of the Zoom meetings that are coming up, the time and the date. But then there'll be other actual pictures on the dates, certain dates that allow you just to have a resource of information for other safety things that we want you to have. And you can just click on and it'll take you directly to the website or to download a PDF. All right, thank you guys. And I'll see you guys at the next one.